As you talk sports, today we're talking boxing. I'm proudly joined here today by Jeamie TKV. How are you doing today?
I'm all good. I'm all good. On yourself?
I'm not too bad. Thanks for asking. But the first thing I want to say is, obviously your name is spelled Jeamie. Is it pronounced Jeamie, or is there what's the correct way to pronounce it?
Yeah, the correct way is Jeamie. It's just pronounced as Jeamie, but it's a mixture of my parents' name, Jean and Mamie, Jeamie, Jeamie in English.
That's not. What language is that?
It's Congolese, French. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I think it's always important, to make sure you're getting someone's name right. Yeah. But yeah, so let's get into boxing. What were your first memories of boxing? How did you get into the sport?
So I started off doing freestyle wrestling from a very young age. My dad's a wrestling coach. All my siblings, both my brothers were in the GB team in wrestling. Blah blah blah, so on, so on. And one day my dad was doing like a youth program in the summer, and there was wrestling, boxing, and football. So obviously I was doing wrestling, but then I saw boxing. I thought, you know what, let me give boxing a try. And then I gave it a go. And then the coach said, you know what, you got some talent. Like, you got something about you. You should consider doing this properly. And I said, yeah, why not? And the thing that he said with me, that stuck with me, is the fact that he said I can make millions doing boxing. The fact that he said millions, I'm still here. I'm trying to find that million. You get what I'm saying? So that's the reason why, that's how I started, and I'm pushing on. And I'm here today.
So what age was that? Are we talking like teenage years?
Well, I started at the age of 18, started boxing. So yeah, from 18 until now.
Yeah, and so obviously I've been to two of your fights. The first one that I came to was the one in November at Alexandra Palace, and I remember you were after the main fight. And one thing that sticks out to me is that you had so much support in the crowd. I remember when you went, everyone was just shouting TKV, TKV. Just having that support, is that something that pushes you through boxing?
Oh, definitely, and it's good to see my people supporting me and people showing me love, and it just makes me feel that I'm not alone in that ring. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have support like that. It pushes me to do well and get better every time with every performance.
Yeah, and obviously I'm right. I think you've trained with AJ before.
Yeah.
So what have you sparred with him? What's training around somebody who's obviously two-time world champion in the past? Is that something that you think is a big beneficiary to you in your career, training with people like that?
Oh, most definitely. Those are the people that have done it all. The experience is second to none. So to learn what they do in their camps and to learn what they do while they're training and stuff like that is good. So I can take that on board and bring it into my camps. You get what I'm saying? So it was just good. It was just learning what he does and just taking it on board. Yeah.
So 5-0 right now. What's next? When are you hoping to be back out?
Hopefully in like 2 months or so. So I'm just waiting for the call.
Any names? I feel like I kind of know one of the names who you might want. Obviously, Frazer Clarke had a performance against Mauritius. What did you think of that performance?
Do you know what? If I was fighting, is it Marius Watch?
Yeah.
If I was fighting him, I would have stopped him. That's what I'm saying.
Are you confident of that?
I'm confident I would have stopped him.
Then if you were to be fighting Frazer Clarke, how do you think the outcome would be?
I would have stopped him too.
Do you think that's a fight because I feel like that's a fight, we've seen talks of Clarke versus Ward. It looks like that, there's a lot of stipulations with that. I think if that fight doesn't happen, a fight that I would like to see, definitely, I think a lot of boxing fans would like to see, is you versus Frazer Clarke. Do you think that is like a realistic possibility in the near future?
Yeah, definitely. If we align ourselves in a position where it makes sense for the both of us, because at the end of the day, it has to make sense no matter how much we want to fight each other. As you have seen at the top, all the top guys, no matter how much they want to box each other, if it doesn't make sense, it won't happen. So I know how it works. You know what I'm saying? If we align each other, we align to, like, we're on the right path, on the same path, we cross paths, and we fight, and it makes sense, then so be it. But I know we'll definitely fight eventually. And it will be a good fight. Frazer's a good fighter, and I know my capabilities, and I know how I turn up on fight night. So I know it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah. So like you said, there's one thing getting it on next, but then that may not be the best opportunity. You could build yourselves up, make it an even bigger fight. So I suppose it's not just about having the fight; it's about having the fight at the right time. So do you think, as you said, you're confident that you'd stop him? Do you think that Frazer would be confident that he wins, or do you think that in the back of his mind he would think that you've got the better of him?
He's confident that he'll win. There's no one boxer that trains to lose. So he's confident that he's gonna win. I'm confident that I'm gonna win, and then we get a good fight.
Have you had any experience in the gym with him? Have you ever sparred him?
No, never fought him, never sparred him, nothing. No.
So are there any other names that that you'd like to fight?
I would like to fight Shabazz Masood. So yeah, you know what? I would like to fight anyone where I could make history with. You know what I'm saying? Any good heavyweight, any good fighters, you know, to say that I've been in a ring with this guy and he's a good fighter. Listen, I would like to share a ring with any top fighter or good fighter. It will be an honor, no matter what level, as long as they're good. Just like I'm talking about Frazer Clarke. At the end of the, even though he's someone that I want to beat, at the end of the day, it's an honor to share the ring with him. You know what I'm saying?
So it sounds like, yeah, that you want to create just a bit of a legacy. Like at the end of the career, you want to look back and say, you know, I've given fans fights, you know, stepped in there with top-class operators, win, lose or draw, you know, I've shared the ring with top prospects. Is that something that is important for you?
Oh, definitely. I want people to go back for many years, people going back to watch my fights on YouTube, like generations after generations, people are talking about TKV. I want to leave that in the game. Like, I actually want to create history, and I hope I can do that with the opponents that I fight. Yeah.
So long-term goals. Where if you were at the end of your career, as well as creating a legacy, if we're talking about, you know, material things like titles, do you have a goal like? Is it a monetary goal, or like do you want to look back and say I've won a world championship, European championship? What's your long-term career goal?
My goal is to be at the top of the sport, to really like fight for world titles, win world titles. I'm looking to be a world champion one day, which everyone's trying to do the same thing. No one's in this sport to be losers, you know what I'm saying? So we're all trying to be the best, trying to be world champions, you know. So I believe I'm capable of being at the top level, so that's what I'm heading to, the top level.
That sounds good. I wish you all the best, brother, and thank you very much for joining me. As you talk sports, just interviewed Jeamie TKV. See you in the next one.